can use the rest of the corn to get rid of your eye bags. Who knew? Gretchen's Bakery had beauty tips and recipes all in one. And you know what else? When you're done getting rid of your eye bags, you have yourself some dinner. You got everything here at Gretchen's Bakery. Stick with me, guys. What's up? It's me. I'm back for another vlog video, and this is going to be a quick little, sort of like a little story time, but also the whole idea brings up a topic that I was recently talking to a friend of mine. We got into talking about specific desserts or pastries or cakes that came from a specific bakery. So basically how the conversation went, we were just talking about cupcakes. We talk about food a lot, it seems, and he was telling me, or asking me actually, because we're both from the same town, if I had heard of a cupcake that came from this bakery that was in our hometown. And this was like years and years ago, because this bakery has since closed down, but he was remembering this cupcake from when he was younger, and he said the name of them was called a Metropolitan. Now, I had never heard of that before, and maybe he was a little bit surprised, like, well, what do you mean you've never heard of them before? You're a bakery person, and your whole half life has been spent in the bakery, and how could you not know what the Metropolitan is? And so it basically brought me to the topic of how there's classic pastry. For example, we all know what the Black Forest cake is. We all pretty much know what the Boston cream pie is. We all pretty much know what a Tres Leches cake is, or a Napoleon pastry, or things like that. Those are classic pastries, right? Like, they're world renowned. Everybody knows what that is when you say those names. But then, certain bakeries will create their own little creations, and then they name them whatever they want to name them. So this was a perfect example of that. This particular bakery had a cupcake called a Metropolitan, and so because I didn't even know that bakery was in my hometown, of course I didn't know what that cupcake was. So, but anyway, he proceeded to tell me what it was, and it's a very simple concept actually. Vanilla cake with a little ring of like a fudge or a chocolate icing in between before they put on the buttercream or the whipped topping icing he was explaining. And then the whole thing is covered with chocolate sprinkles, and it has a little fudge dot right in the center. And so that just brought me to thinking about a little story time that happened when I owned my bakery. And it's just an example of this, where like a bakery may create something and name it whatever they want, and then the people in the town will be familiar with it because they're familiar with it, right? But if you went to a different state or a different town and said, hey, give me the Metropolitan cupcake, chances are they're not going to know what you're really talking about. And so this was a perfect example of something that happened in my bakery. We had a signature Danish. It was called the Meltaway Danish. And basically what it was a piece of Danish, and we would spread it with buttercream. Then we would put walnuts all over it, roll it up, form it into a Danish, and then when it baked, the buttercream obviously would melt away, and so that's where the name Meltaway came from. So everyone knew what the Meltaway was. I mean, my bakery was around for close to, well, it's around for close to 50 years, and so the owner, the person that I bought it from, he was making the Meltaway. The person that he bought it from was making the Meltaway. So like, this was not like a new or one of my creations. This was something that had been around for years and years, decades, right? So a woman came into my bakery and she wanted to order Meltaways. She ordered 24 of them. We would make individual size, like an individual Danish size, and then we'd make a larger one. So she had, and we asked her, you know, do you want the smaller ones or the larger ones? And she said, oh no, I want 24 of the smaller Meltaways. Okay, great. We put the order in. We proceeded to make it. When she came in to pick up her order, I think it was like on a Sunday, she was horrified. This was not what I ordered. What is this? This is not a Meltaway. So it turns out she was originally from, I want to say like Massachusetts or New Hampshire, one of the New England states. I can't remember exactly. So if any of you guys are from that area and you know what a melt-away is, and it's not anything like I just described it, and it's actually a cookie, because this is what she was expecting. She came in to pick up her order on that Sunday and she was like, what the hell is this? This is not what I ordered. I don't want this. Where are my cookies? We were like, cookies? What are you talking about? This is a melt-away. So it was just this whole, like, she was on one page and we were on another, because what we thought a melt-away was and what she thought a melt-away was were two completely different things. So she was really irate. She did not want to hear it, even though it was just really a simple miscommunication. I mean, how would we ever, I mean, if somebody came in and was like, oh, I want to order melt-aways, and everybody in the town for 30 years knew what melt-aways were, why would you even question that she didn't know, right? So it was just like sort of one of those things. And so she came in with her mother to pick them up, and it was kind of embarrassing because she like pretty much went nuts and stormed out of the bakery. She did not want the melt-away Danish, trust me. And her mother was really embarrassed, and you know, it was kind of like an embarrassing moment, because basically really all it was a miscommunication. But I mean, I do get it. You're having a party that day and you expect one thing and you get something completely different. But man, I wish she did take those melt-away Danishes, because they were so good. Now I'm thinking about those. I'm going to have to try and recreate that here on a video for you guys. But anyway, I'm getting off the topic. I'm getting off the, well, not really, but back to the Metropolitan cupcake at hand. So basically that little memory of my friend who was getting these cupcakes like all the time after school when he was younger, explaining to me what the Metropolitan cupcake was. So I did go ahead and recreate that. And so all the links are going to be below, so you guys are definitely going to want to go and check out that video and that recipe. Super simple, but super delicious. Like, as he was telling me, I was like, all right, well, it's just a vanilla cupcake with vanilla icing and a little bit of fudge icing in there. And he was like, no, but it's covered with sprinkles and it had a fudge dot on top. And it's so funny, because when you have a specific memory of something from your past, like a food thing especially, that it just, when you think about it, it just brings back like the feeling you had when you were eating it, and like just all of that happy stuff. And obviously I did recreate this recipe into a vegan version. Again, all the links are below. And then what it had me think and want to do as I was recreating the Metropolitan, I got to thinking, you know what? I'm going to create something that's signature to me and Gretchen's Bakery. And I came up with the Gretcherino, the world famous Gretcherino pastry, which is basically just my new recipe for vegan vanilla cake. I baked it into a donut pan because I love donuts. Obviously, it's filled with fudge icing because, duh, it's a Gretcherino. It is glazed with some coffee icing because if any of you guys have been following me for some time here, you know that coffee and chocolate is my favorite combination. So that was my signature Gretcherino that is going to be world famous. So whether you guys are in California or England, you're going to go into your local bakery and ask for a Gretcherino, and they're going to look at you like you have three heads, because they're not going to know what you're talking about. So anyway, that's just an example of classic pastries that everybody knows about versus your local bakery that might create something to their own and name it. Like, for example, aside from the Melt-Away Danish when I owned my bakery, because that was like, had been there for decades, right? I did create something that was signature to me. I actually did it for a video way back when, so thumbs up if you guys remember the Death to Diets cake. So that was something that was created just for a video way back when, and I ended up putting it into my store and selling it, and it was such a hit. Oh my God, Death to Diets cake. That idea came to me because I'm constantly on a diet. I'm constantly like actually not on a diet and then on a diet. So I have like this perfect imbalance of eating tons of cake and then going to the gym. So I do always try to keep the balance, but at one point when I was on a diet, like I was just like, okay, I'm off sugar. I have to stop eating sugar. I always come up with the best recipes when I'm on a diet. I don't know if it's like from just complete deprivation that I come up with these awesome ideas, but the Death to Diets cake was like just tons of layers of like chocolate cake, fudge icing, cheesecake. I think it had mocha buttercream in it. It was like just this huge layer cake that then was all covered with ganache. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. It is actually still on GretchensBakery.com. I'll definitely link that below. And so I created that, and so that's just another example of something that no one else in the world would know about. If you went to a bakery in, I don't know, Pennsylvania or whatever, they're gonna go, Death to Diets cake? Never heard of it before. So anyway, this little story time was brought up just because we were talking about trip down memory lane and some really cool desserts or cakes or snacks that you ate when you were a kid and the memories that it brings back. So definitely comment below and let me know what were some of your childhood favorites, or just like a food that brings back a certain memory for you. And also I would love to know what you guys would create if you did have your own bakery, or maybe some of you do, or you're working from home and you're selling certain things. And a lot of times we come up with signature creations, right? So I'd love to see, comment below. I want to know what you guys are up to, what you called it, what it is made out of, and where it came from. So let's keep this conversation going because it is a fun one. And don't forget to click the links below to get the recipe for the Metropolitan Cupcake and also the new world famous Gretcherino. And that's about it for today. I just want to do a quick vlog, tell you my little story time of the melt-away debacle from when I owned my bakery. And that's about it, guys. I have to get ready to go to work now. I'm sort of flipping my schedule a little bit. I'm gonna start going in a little bit later now rather than working in the daytime because I'm just really trying to fit everything in. If I keep eating cupcakes and Gretcherinos at this rate, I have got to get my butt to that gym. So I wake up in the morning now, I go right to the gym. It's the first thing I do. Then I'm trying to just really film videos for you guys. Like my creative juices are flowing now that I'm back in the bakery setting. So like I'm really excited. So I am going to bring my cameras in there soon. It's pretty much chaos right now. Like we're still really feeling out. It's only been a couple of weeks that he's been open, and so when I get there I basically just hit the ground running and there's not a lot of time for anything else. But once we settle out a little bit, I am going to bring my cameras in there and show you guys a little behind the scenes stuff about what's going on in the Real Deal Bakery. And that's about it. I'm going to stop talking now. I hope you guys are enjoying these vlogs as much as I'm enjoying doing them. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. Click the links below. What else? Give me a like. Follow me on Facebook. So yeah, that's it. Alright, let me shut up now because I can talk forever. Alright guys, I will talk to you soon. Until then, happy baking. Bye for now.